What if Naruto swapped places with Sasuke and became and was a girl? In order for this what if to happen, we have to switch reincarnations of Indra and Ashura. Still, so that Naruto doesn't see the best in people, and Sasuke sees the best he could in people. And Naruto's name would be Naruto in this timeline to fit how the story should be. Now, their early childhood would be pretty much like the same in a way. Well, Sasuke's would be closer to Naruto's, but his personality would be more like how Sasuke was before the Uchiha massacre. But he'd be kind of a knucklehead from Ashura's reincarnation power, and he would think out things he would overthink things too much, and he's not really smart. But Naruto's would have more of this girl tsundere action, and would be a girl, of course, but would make rash decisions just like Indra, and would be a prodigy. And continuing on the story, before the Uchiha massacre, she was kind of like a knucklehead, like Naruto was naturally, but combined with the girl attitude, with more tsundere attitude in a way too. But she would say stuff like Sasuke would say, but be an ice queen, which is kind of funny. But the next thing is that Naruto would be Naruto after the Uchiha massacre would kind of see the best in people, because Ashura wasn't exactly that, but she thought it was combined that of Itachi's ego and some other outer influence, and she hates Itachi like Sasuke would, but a lot more, because she'd be more of a well-fit Indra reincarnation compared to Sasuke would be. And she would be able to get the Sharingan, so Uchiha matching up. Next thing on is that the days before the massacre, and when Sasuke tries to show off, she shows off that she can do Konjutsu easily, and Sasuke tries to do a Konjutsu but fails, and he tries to decide which one is which, just like in the anime with what Sasuke did to Naruto. But instead, Naruto would punch him in the face instead, because she is more of a jerk, and says, "What are you doing, loser?" And Naruto would continue on, and Naruto would continue on, and at that lake moment when they look away from each other in the story, they would basically get kind of like Sasuke would look at Naruto while she's looking at the lake, and then she turns it, and then Sasuke turned away with kind of a smirk on his face, but it's hard to see it. And then she turned away with kind of a smirk on her face too. And then what happens is she sees where he's going, and she figures out that he's also living alone, but he isn't really the same as her, and she doesn't care. The next day, after the academy day, she goes to her house, but Sasuke trying to be as sneaky as he can, will try to. But she notices that Sasuke's looking at her, but she acts like she doesn't know, and she goes to her house. And then Sasuke will realize she's living alone, but he doesn't really like her as a person at all. So that's how it would go. Continuing on, we're going to have a time skip to after the academy, to graduate, to when they get their teams assigned. But of course, when they got their teams, Sasuke instead he would have learned Wind Style Gale Palm, because Naruto and Kennen had a Gale Palm. Well, he had Wind Style, so we're giving him Gale Palm, and we're giving him Shadow Clone Jutsu and Multi Shadow Clone Jutsu. Meanwhile, Naruto would have lightning style, lightning dragon jutsu, and have fire style, fireball jutsu, which this is going to come into play for later. Next thing would happen is that, next thing that would happen is basically when they're coming over to the academy, basically they start walking, like Sasuke and Naruto see each other. Sasuke tries running past her, but then she punches him in the face, and then lets him get up and run away into the academy. And then she walks into the academy a couple minutes later, and from the other side, trying to be cooler, and then walks into the classroom and goes to her seat. And then the same thing kind of happens with the gay kiss, but instead it's straight in a way, but it's still not wanted. And the kiss kind of happens, like the same thing happens as the original, but instead Sasuke gets on top of the desk, and then they both glare at each other like they did before. But then Sasuke gets knocked into, somebody knocks on something, hits Sasuke by accident, and then the kiss happens, and Naruto gets beat up. And of course, not Naruto, I mean Sasuke gets beat up. It's so hard to say that. Sasuke gets beat up, but Naruto spits out, keeps on spitting towards the ground like Sasuke did in the original. But Sasuke, he gets beat up, sadly, because all the guys wanted to be Naruto's first kiss, but they ended up not being her first kiss. Maybe, that's kind of what happens. But next, continuing with the story, the belt test would kind of happen, kind of similar, but we're changing the teams. Kiba and Sakura kind of get swapped, making it so Kiba is on the team, and really, Naruto hates both Sasuke and Kiba. And Kiba likes Naruto, but hates Sasuke. And Sasuke hates Kiba and Naruto. Kind of like how it was in the original. But instead, instead of Naruto in the original liking Sakura or Kiba, I guess, but instead it's different because we're not. Next, we continue on with the bell test. It would kind of happen similar. Kiba gets put under a genjutsu, and Sasuke basically takes up Naruto's spot, but instead uses One-Shot Gale Pump and Shadow Clone spams those two jutsus. But Naruto, she would actually be stronger, basically. And she would use her lightning style, lightning dragon jutsu, and her fire style, fireball jutsu to make. So then she can defeat Kakashi and take a bell. But Kakashi uses his jutsu to make sure that he gets the bell back. So after he gets the bell back, it kind of becomes like canceled out in a way. But she does much better than Sasuke did in the original. So, makes sense, am I correct? And continuing on in the story, continuing on, we'll start to the start of Land of Waves arc, because like the D-rank missions kind of having pretty similar. But the missions are going to be kind of different in a way. Instead, you'd have like this anger between Sasuke and Naruto, this rivalry, and Kiba and Sasuke. And Kiba being all nice to Naruto, but hating Sasuke. Kind of everybody hates Sasuke in this, I guess. But everybody hates Kiba. So, kind of different. And Naruto hates everyone, Sasuke hates everyone, but Kiba doesn't. So everybody kind of gets all the hate towards each other. Then, unlike the Land of Waves arc, same thing kind of happens with the demon and those demon brothers, but instead, a lightning style lightning dragon jutsu happens, and they almost die from it, and then when they pop out, Sasuke gets cut in the hand. where he does normally. But the difference is now that he will win against. But then they get fire style, fireball, jutsu, and they die. No, the bandage kind of heals in 5 minutes. He realizes, and they think that's kind of impressive. We're gonna stop at the end of the Land of Waves arc here, but this is only part 1. Continuing on, the Zabuza interaction would be pretty cool. And what I mean by end of Land of Waves arc is kind of like a end of like the like close to the end, like they're in the final battle. The Zabuza interaction is really similar, but instead, yeah, it's really similar. Like, but after Kakashi gets trapped, it was a one-person team with a lightning style lightning dragon jutsu, making it so he has to jump away, and then the rest of the battle is the exact same. And Kiba's kind of soccer in this situation. So we're gonna end off this episode right here because it's like 11 minutes into this. So on the next part, we'll see what happens.